Cheers, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Got that one in.
Had some complaints that I wasn't letting you do that.
Yeah.
And you went with it. Gusto.
Muy gusto.
I'm really surprised the dogs didn't bark. Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Booze, and this is one that's long time coming. We've gone through 15, 20 bottles of this.
Yeah.
Of
We
this
just
size.
chug it down.
I've used it for straight drinking, mixing drinking, but normally we use it for our base liquor in our barrels. We have a 5-gallon barrel and a 5-gallon barrel and a 5-liter barrel. What's that, a gallon and a half?
It's like a gallon and a half.
We use that because we like to play with different finishes and stuff like that in barrels. Try different things, different aging techniques, just fun and games. And so this is what we use as our base liquor, and then add some other things to it. So we figured it's finally time to go ahead and do Evan Williams. This bottled in bond, 100 proof. We really like it. I'm a big fan of Evan Williams. It's probably one of the first real known distilleries that I latched on to, because I've tried almost all the Evan Williams. I like it.
I'm not that too familiar with it.
Oh, you're not familiar with it? I've been to their distillery a couple times, and it's pretty cool. Pretty nice. My wife and I walked out once with several $100s in debt. But back to Evan Williams. This is from the Heaven Hill Distillery. It is 100 proof, 50%. This 175 costs you about $20. That's why we use it as our base. 750 is about $12. So we're gonna go with the $12 price for barrel rating, and that'll be a 4-barrel on the rating. And it's aged 4 years. So, and I see lots of people like this as one of their better Evan Williams. We've tried the 1783, and we've tried the bottled in bond. We have an episode of, I believe, both of those. So you might go back. Oh no, the single barrel. We have an episode of the Evan Williams single barrel and the 1783. So you can look at those ratings in past episodes. You're not familiar with it, huh?
Not really.
You only taste it when it comes out of the finished barrel we're working on?
I think the last time I tasted this one is when we put it in the barrel, so it's been a while.
So if you're new here, we give it a rating for cost, which is now a 4-barrel out of 5, and then we rate aroma, flavor, and bite. Woohoo! Fun and games. I want to see you put your eye out. Add a little water, see how that changes. Okay. So, a cost of $12.79 for or $12.99, whatever I wrote down, for a 750. This one's a 175. It costs more. Of $12.79, so that's going to be a 4-barrel rating. Aroma, I give it a 3. You give it a 3.5. You want to explain?
It's got a little sweet to it, maybe a little bit of mint and chocolate to it.
Okay.
But
It's very bourbon-esque.
And for
You get all of that bourbon
and
aromas.
You're going to hate me saying this, for the cost,
I hate you for saying that.
I know you do, but
very bourbon has that dark cherry, a little bit of vanilla aroma, a little bit of medicinal. It is 100 proof. So I give it a 3. Flavor, we each give it a 3.5. It's very silky. It's very, it's got that vanilla and that char. It's got molasses, which I picked up, and a little bit of that dark cherry.
And you say dark cherry, and
dark fruit.
I was going more chocolate, but
okay,
dark cherry, I could agree with that.
I can get the dark chocolate. Bite, I give it a 3.5. You give it a 3. I think it's for 100 proof. I don't really see. There's not that lingering. It's got some spicy pepper on the palate, but it doesn't really stay very long.
For me, it was the lips and the front end was very like spicy with the bite. The finish isn't bad at all.
No, finish is not bad at all.
It's just the front end that kind of...
When we add up all these ratings, we end up with 14 points, which is a 3.5, and I think this is a decent 3.5 barrel bourbon.
Yeah.
It'll continue to be our base alcohol until we can find something maybe a higher proof at a similar price. It's really hard to beat 100 proof for $20.
Yeah, because you don't want to be putting like your whole bank account into the barrel.
No, I can't afford to. I mean, there's some really good high proof stuff out there, but it's too expensive. And then I don't really want to deal with 80 proof in there because as it ages, it loses proof. So I like that. Sometimes we put some high proof neutral grain in there to keep it up, but we've been trying to stick with either this or mellow corn, which is an episode coming up, just because it's nice to keep it that way, and we've tried some things. If you've never gotten a barrel, you should really seriously think about it.
And then when we started the barrel, we were doing like neutral grain and adding our own essence and stuff. And
right. I think I see a lot of comments about barrels in other whiskey blogs and stuff and how people are trying it. It is a fabulous little experiment to do at home. You're not breaking any laws, you're not distilling. You're just taking something that's already done and aging it in a different container. And we've aged Merlot wine, tequila, Scotch. We got Scotch in the small barrel right now. And each time you do that, it comes up with a new flavor the next batch that's in there.
It infuses the barrel with
it. It infuses the barrel. And eventually you're going to get to a point where that barrel is no longer being used. But our small 5-liter barrel, we're going on 2.5 years with it. It's probably been 6 or 7 different concoctions in it. It's still pretty good.
But you got to have some patience.
Lots of patience.
You can't just put it in there and like the next day, like say.
Yeah, like our 5-gallon barrel, we wait a full year of the stuff in there, and we got a group in there that won't be done until March. So you should give it a try. As for Evan Williams, it's a great base to use. So think about that if you're going to do any type of mixing. Or if you want to start blending and you would need a bourbon blend, you could think about that. Of course, the smaller the barrel, the more expensive the liquor you can get because you're not buying as much.
Yeah. And for like the price of every man guy, if you want to come home and just have it on the rocks or make a Coke and a Evan Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would definitely consider picking this up if you get a chance. In any of the Evan ones, we're pretty happy with. They have some low ends, a high end. Almost anything Heaven Hill puts out is
good,
really good. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and merchandise. Remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey, and this is pretty darn good whiskey.
Pretty good whiskey.
So, cheers.
Laters.